Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you, sir.
How are you?
Great.
Okay. What I want to start with is, well, it kind of ties in with Fuck the Hi-Hat, the song Fuck the Hi-Hat. Well, in 2012, first album did well, but before that, obviously, success doesn't happen overnight. So how do you look back at the period before?
It took some hard work. Laurie was amazing at the start. Sending lots of emails to promoters, and Laurie got us all our gigs pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of just driving around the country on our own and just doing anything we had to do to sort of get a show. But yeah.
And anything memorable of that time? So maybe a gig or the kind of...
Yeah, just there's so many gigs.
On that bloke's floor while he was watching Battle Royale.
Yeah.
You know the film Battle Royale? Because we just used to like ask, we'd be on stage and we'd say, has anyone got somewhere we can sleep tonight? And some guy let us sleep above the pub we were playing in. And it was pretty disgusting. I don't want to say too much because he might see the interview. Have I already said too much?
Nah.
All right. But those kind of things, is it important as a band to go through that to get where you are?
I think so. I think a lot of bands don't go through it and they don't respect what people have done to get where they are, and it means like we know what it takes to put on a show because we've done it ourselves and be a fan and get people to come to your gigs. Whereas if you just sort of blow up overnight and people just turn up, you feel like that's meant to happen and it's not. So I think we enjoy our success more because of it, maybe.
What was something then that you learned from that period about stage performance and about gigs, just playing gigs?
Look, fuck ups are good.
Okay.
Yeah, never be negative.
Never be negative, never come off stage and dwell on the show. Once it's done. And yeah, I don't know, and it's good. Technical difficulties, you can use them to your advantage. Tell some jokes, have a good time.
Sure. And well, did it build your confidence? Because like you say, Laurie, you kind of email people to get to gigs, and so did that build the confidence? Did you, in terms of what you were doing?
Yeah, I guess so. I learned sort of how to sort of work out the sort of logistics behind it and putting together we put together our first ever EP, so we had to work out how to do the artwork, how to get it on iTunes, how to distribute it or take it on tour.
Laurie was our manager to start off with as well, pretty much.
Yeah, just learn everything, and it means that we're really well equipped that when we got signed and it all started getting bigger, we still stay like really in control of everything. We make all our own decisions, we know our own minds and we know what our band wants to be.
Is that more difficult to do now that there is more success and there's a label to contend with?
I don't know, not necessarily, because sometimes if you were the only driving force, or like if we didn't have anyone else arranging stuff, it would be much harder to get these big sort of like works together, like the album and the more technical side of it. So it's quite good having a good label working with you because they can do the sort of boring stuff for you.
Sure.
But no, it's good working with a label so far.
And well, obviously, Are You Satisfied did quite well. And then now, only a year later, you're already there with Take Control. So why this shorter period?
It's because we like to constantly create. And I don't know, we don't want to be one of those bands that just like waits years to bring out their next record. I think you should just write something and then put it out while it's relevant to you. And I don't know, yeah, we just want to keep creating.
Did you have a lot, because well, the first album obviously you have a lot of time to work on, and then the second album comes around. Did you have tracks and ideas left over from the first?
We didn't, did we?
No, but we sort of like started writing the minute we'd finished the first one, so we kind of spent that whole time. I don't think there's any songs on there that are old. There's one song called Rich Man, which was the same guitar riff was used on a demo we did for the last album, but in a different key. So we just took that riff, moved it, and wrote a different song. Apart from that, it was all just fresh.
Okay. And well, let's take Rich Man. The idea, the sentiment behind that track. When did that come into your minds?
When we were writing that, I think David Cameron had just been found out for like tax avoiding and like
Offshore account,
and like it all just kind of got swept under the rug, and we were just kind of pissed off about all that, and I don't know, just rich politicians in England.
Sure. And well, you deal with more of these kind of social topics, political topics. When do these writing sessions occur? Is it just what's on your mind during these writing sessions, or do you have kind of ideas and think, okay, maybe we should talk about this, or maybe we should talk about that?
I think we do both. I think a lot of our music is a discussion, like you said. We should talk about this or talk about that, because we've never just wanted to write love songs. I mean, there's a place for love songs, but we've always wanted to have some sort of sentiment behind our music. So we sit there and have discussions about what we're gonna say, and then when we get into a room, we start piecing it together. Sometimes one of us will think of a phrase, or like Isaac's got like his phone's full of lyrics already, and I've already got riffs, and we sort of will start something and then talk a lot and build it up.
Do you remember that initial conversation for Take Control?
Yeah, we were on a plane.
Back from Japan.
Okay.
And they messed up our seats, so we got moved to business class.
Okay.
And we were just sitting next to each other, both sipping on a champagne, just discussing it, weren't we?
Yeah, we came up with a title we just said, let's just go again, because we obviously just finished Are You Satisfied, and we kind of didn't feel like we'd said everything we wanted to say. So we were like, should we write another album? And then we discussed what it should be called, and then Isaac was like, I want to write a song called Take Control. And I was like, well, that'd be a good album name. And then it was just, that was it. So August last year, we sort of had the idea, and we worked off that.
And Isaac, what was then that you felt that you needed to say, or that you maybe didn't get to say on Are You Satisfied, but you needed to say with Take Control, the track?
I feel like the track Take Control.
Yeah. Or you can take it more broader.
I feel like it's a kind of a follow-up from Are You Satisfied? Because if you're not satisfied, take control. And yeah, I kind of just feel it's like the sequel.
Okay.
And I feel like the album after this will be completely different.
Okay. So these, it's kind of
part one and part two, like,
right.
maybe, yeah.
And well, maybe this is way off, but where does Brexit fix into this? Because, like you say, Are You Satisfied? Take Control. It is kind of that mindset of getting out to vote, or maybe doing something in another way. But did that factor into it?
Yeah, we were firmly inners. We wanted to stay in Europe, so we were quite gutted when that happened. And it factors into the point that everything's changing around us and you don't have much control about it, which is quite shit and scary, I guess.
Sure, and then this might be a very difficult question to answer, but how do you take control? How do you?
That is hard. It's different for everyone. For me, it was just like getting out of my situation, quitting school, and just I wanted to be a musician. So like instead of being scared, I just did it and just was like, I'll work a shit job for a year or however long until I do it. And it's making the decision that you'd rather be happy doing something for nothing than be rich and miserable. And then I think when you sort of are at peace with that, that's when you can you allow yourself to actually do it better. And so the fact we never expected to be successful with this band, I think, is why it's so pure and why it is. People can see that, they see it's honest.
So many people just amble through life and just like don't ever really achieve anything they want to because they don't think they can. And like just go out and get what you want.
You shouldn't be scared to try.
Do you notice now then that now that there is success, now that you have an audience, that this is more difficult to do, to keep it more honest and?
Yeah, I think. Sorry. Yeah, well, I guess it is because your situation changes,
Sure.
and you can't be as angry, and like you could just really decide to go, well, it kind of feels like there's two sides of it. You're like, oh, I was there, and there's those people. Now I'm here, and there's these people. Do I carry on writing songs for those people like I should, or should I just write some love songs and be, you know what I mean? And it's hard because sometimes you just don't feel as pissed off anymore, and
Right.
you feel alright. But then your songs become a lot more about your mindset. I don't know. I just feel like that's what we're always going to write about. We never set out to be like, we're going to write about politics. Like,
Sure.
we just were writing the songs we liked. We've got songs that are just about bumping into a Sasquatch. You know, like we just have fun, and I think that's what that's how you stay honest to yourself. Like,
And I think whatever position you're in as well, even if you are successful somewhat, you're still going to have like your anxieties and your demons, and there's still going to be somewhere, a place in there you can write from.
This might be too personal a question then, and then you can elaborate as much as you like, but what is one of your demons that you're kind of releasing on this album? Or kind of trying to get rid of on this album?
I don't know, no, I don't think it is like singularly like
Okay.
a demon. I think it's just like you channel your aggression from somewhere.
Right.